Good morning, Big Brother fans. It is Monday, June 7th, and we are 1 month out from Big Brother 23. I have no news to tell you about Big Brother 23. I have not heard any particular rumors other than the start date that I will take credit for being one of the first to tell everybody about. Got lucky and told everybody the day before CBS announced it. But other than that, I don't know anything. I said I speculated that the cast was being finalized. I saw a couple people say that the cast had been finalized. I'm not aware of that, and I don't think that it's 100% locked in yet, in my opinion. But that's strictly my opinion. It just doesn't seem like, based on past seasons, that they would have had everybody locked in a month before they actually enter the house. And we do know that they are entering the house live in a month. Most recent, actually, the only other time they have entered live when the show has started, it's been three other times. The first time was the very first show, the very first season, I think they entered live, but I didn't watch it. I've seen it now in retrospect, but I really didn't start watching Big Brother until about 4 or 5 days into it. So I remember, I think, flipping across the channel. I've told this story before. I remember flipping across and kind of seeing it, but not taking much interest in it. It wasn't until I read about the free live feeds that I became interested and started watching it. So that was considered a live move-in, because they showed the cars driving across Los Angeles, heading towards the house and all that. And then after that, the next time they actually did an actual live move-in, same day, start the feeds move-in, was Big Brother Over the Top, which some don't count as a Big Brother season, but I do. So Big Brother Over the Top was a live move-in. We watched them walk in one by one into the house, and so that was cool. And that was a 2-hour long process. I can't even remember how long it was now. It took a long, long time. They could never do it the way they did it on Big Brother Over the Top on live television, because you'd just be waiting forever. But it was fun. And then last season, with the All-Stars, that was a live move-in, live right into a competition, which in the end, I think a lot of us didn't care for. At least I didn't. I mean, I liked the fact that it was live, but I didn't like the fact that we had a household the first right out of the door, because it just didn't allow the house guests to establish any relationships without already having an adversarial situation set up where you had one person who was head of household. And honestly, I did feel that the competition wasn't fair, as far as I think it was skewed towards one particular type, specifically at least male to start with. It's not all. We didn't even get a full set of women to competing, and then in the end, the balancing aspect of it, that they had to run across those things at the end, just totally favored Cody and young, very athletic people. So, anyways, I digress kind of. But a month from now, we'll be getting ready to watch another live entrance. I'm really hoping that they don't do a live head of household. I would hope that if they move in on a Wednesday, that maybe they do the head of household competition. We may not get to see it. Maybe they'll move in, and we'll get the feeds for a few hours, and then they'll shut down and do a head of household competition, and we won't get to see it until Thursday night. That may be the kind of situation. They'll show it live. They'll show it Thursday night, or maybe they'll show it live Thursday night. That wouldn't be bad. Have the house guests move in, get to know each other for a day, do a live head of household competition on Thursday night, and then we roll right into a regular setup where we have nominations on Sunday, eviction the following Thursday. You could do it all. It's so logical. Why do I think they won't follow that? They're not listening to me anyways, but that would be the best way to do it in my opinion. Now, the other thing I thought I would talk about this morning was casting. So, casting is being done by the same group that did it for Big Brother Over the Top. It is not being done by Robin Casting and her crew, who have done it for almost all of Big Brother, but did not do it for Big Brother Over the Top. And I don't know whether that's going to be a good or a bad thing. I mean, people say, oh, the Big Brother Over the Top cast was great. Well, it was being cast for different purposes, especially now there's this mandate to be more diverse in the casting. That could change the way things happen. Will it mean that we'll get a more diverse cast? I am sure that the cast will be more diverse than it has been. Will that make a change in the gameplay? I don't know. I really don't know. It kind of depends on the personality of the people that are cast. And if they go in having, if their agenda going in is specifically about being a diverse cast and kind of trying to keep things even as you go throughout the game, that can be definitely make it for a very different feel for a game. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see, and I'm all for it. I'm all for mixing things up and not being the standard way things have gone a lot of seasons. So it'll be interesting to see. I'm not going to get all up in arms one way or the other. I just want to see how it falls out. So that's really the update I had this morning. Nothing in particular, no news to speak of. I may poke my source to see if they have any kind of inside information, but frankly, knowing them, they probably don't, and I don't ever want to expose them too much as far as potentially getting them in trouble for giving me information if they have it that they shouldn't. But I really don't think there's anything to tell. I don't know. What else? What else to tell you guys? I've already mentioned, I know I did because I got a message from a couple of people that I will not be at home the week that Big Brother premieres. This has happened before. It happened a couple of years ago, maybe 3. It happened 20, Big Brother 20, I think. I was out on the East Coast with my wife. We were on a little trip. See, the thing is, that was the week before that. That actually started in July. My wedding anniversary is in July. And so, every once in a while things collide. I've had, podcasts that I haven't gone on because it was our anniversary. And this year we're celebrating our anniversary, and we're going to Vegas, which is what I said in my last CarCast, and I'll actually be doing something July 7th in the afternoon/evening. Now, will I be doing something? Yeah, you know what? It's going to be earlier. Oh, that's right. Because that's 2 hours earlier than, I think they're on Mountain Time, right? It's Is Las Vegas on Mountain Time or Pacific Time? I could look this up. Nobody needs to tell me. I can't remember, though, right now. I want to say they're on Mountain Time. But either way, yeah, I believe they're 2 hours earlier. Yeah, they are. I know they are based on the flights. So if the show premieres at 8 o'clock, which I don't know the exact time now off the top of my head, Eastern Time, that'll be 6 o'clock in Las Vegas. And I guarantee you I will not be watching the premiere live. However, I will probably get to watch the live feed start, because if memory serves from last go-round, from last year, the feeds actually didn't kick off until or like 1 in the morning, maybe midnight. That we watched them move in live, but then the feeds didn't actually turn on until like midnight, which again, if it was midnight or 1 a.m., that would be 10 or 11 o'clock. And I can't say with 100% certainty that I'll be back in my hotel room by 10 or 11 o'clock. I realize there are probably some of you listening to this going like, what? You'll be back in your hotel room by 10 or 11 o'clock in Las Vegas? Yeah. I'm not a big gambler. Although, heck, we could be out walking around. Very possibly. I'll never say never, but my wife's not a late night person. And while if Big Brother wasn't on, I might find reasons to stay out late and do stuff. In this case, if the feeds are kicking off, I may be home in my hotel room, back in my hotel room with the earphones on, sitting in front of a glowing computer screen, watching House Guests, even though I'm sitting in Las Vegas. Priorities, right? So that we'll have to see. That's a month from now. We'll have to see. I do recall another season. The cast was announced while I was at an airport. It wasn't but the cast was announced a week before they moved in. So we were on a vacation the week before Big Brother. I don't remember where we were going. I don't think it's when I went to Cuba, but it may be. No, Cuba was in October, so it definitely wasn't then. But I think we were going on a cruise. And I just remember being in the airport. I think that was I can't. Yep. So I always seem to have something going on around this time lately, but that's all right. Have I mentioned that I'd be okay if Big Brother ended? I think I have, but it's still going, and it's still going strong. Oh, one other thought. There's been some speculation. I did see some people talking about, are the Big Brother live feeds, what's going to happen this season? Well, they are going to happen, obviously. They're on Paramount Plus. That transition was fairly seamless. Although, it really doesn't seem like there's as much as they talked about all the selections. I guess, I remember when CBS All Access, correct me if I'm wrong, I remember when CBS All Access first started, you could find virtually every single, you name the TV show that had ever aired on CBS, and it seemed like you could find it on CBS All Access. Again, maybe I'm wrong and it's in my imagination, but out of curiosity, my wife asked about a show. Specifically, it was My Three Sons, which she can remember watching when she was a little kid in reruns. It kind of reminded her of her dad, sitting around the house and would watch it again in reruns. And she kind of got nostalgic and wanted to see it, and so I went looking for it, and I found a couple of seasons for her, but not on CBS All Access. You can't watch it. And so it's like, but I thought you could watch everything that used to be in the CBS library on CBS All Access. So I don't remember. It seemed to me like there was a ton of options, I don't know if they just went away or if they went away when they switched to Paramount, or I'm just not sure. But there is obviously other stuff. There's all kinds of shows on Paramount Plus. But it's not some incredibly huge library, in my opinion. Now, I signed up for a year. I paid the $50 for a year of Paramount Plus back when they did the changeover. And so I'm in for this season for Big Brother live feeds and all that. I'm already set up. But the question has been tossed around out there about, does Paramount Plus, are they going to care about the live feeds? Is CBS going to care about giving us the live feeds, or is that going to go away? And it's a mixed bag of answers. People still think that eventually the live feeds are going to go away. I don't know. I've said it before. I'll say it again. Big Brother without the live feeds is just not Big Brother. And, I've watched Big Brother Canada without the live feed portion. I just haven't watched the live feeds. Or tried to make an effort to, it's a different experience anyways, because the Canadian live feeds are different. But I just am not nearly as invested in Big Brother Canada as I am in Big Brother USA. And if the live feeds went away completely from Big Brother USA, it would just lose me. I would be probably done watching it. Especially, if they tried to still do a live version of Big Brother in the way they do it currently, and not having live feeds, I wouldn't have much of an interest. I say that because, Big Brother Canada or Big Brother Australia is the U.S. version, kind of the U.S. version of Big Brother, and it's recorded. It's all done. It's completely done. It's like Survivor. It was recorded months ago. And I'm really enjoying it. But I tell you what, that has a lot to do with production. And it is not Big Brother in the U.S. version. Even though the voting is kind of the same, it's just not. It's just not the same show. In part because of the way they produce it, and in part because it's not an American show. It's a different culture. It's different people, and they act differently, and they and it's edited so much. I know that there are things that are going on that I have no clue about, and there's going to be all kinds of things. Oh, all right. So there's my thoughts on Big Brother. I want to take one little sidestep and briefly talk about The Circle, the U.S. version of The Circle, Season 2, which I have. I only know because I saw a couple of tweets, and I don't even know the backstory. But I happen to be following Jack, who was in Season 2. Those of you that don't know anything about The Circle, well, sorry, I'm not going to try to explain it right now. I'm almost at work. But there are many of you that have watched all the versions of The Circle, including Season 2 on Netflix, and Jack was on that cast. Now, I'm not going to give any spoilers other than Jack was on the cast, and I was in a sequester game a year ago with Jack. It was actually May 30th of last year. And so, it's kind of like, oh, that's cool. I mean, I haven't really talked with Jack since he was announced. We've exchanged like 2 very brief messages, like cool, thanks, and yeah, whatever. That's about the extent of it. But I did see Jack tweet about there must be some drama going on for the cast. Like, Jack was basically saying, oh, you don't know the half of it. As in, the way I read it, and I could be wrong, was some things must have been said in Twitter, in the Twitterverse, and it was a minor drama, and people were like, oh, you don't know the half of what was going on as far as what went on the show, in the house or in the apartment complex. Like, you have not seen stuff because of the editing. You don't know half of what went on, and that's there you go. That's kind of one of those. Yeah, that's probably true. There's all kinds of stuff that went on that we just don't know anything about. And again, that's why I am not I know that that's how Big Brother Australia is edited. We don't know half of what's going on. And, Even with Big Brother USA, we don't know a lot of what goes on, but we have a pretty good idea of a lot of what goes on. As a matter of fact, in our case, we often know things that the people in the house don't know about until they get out, because we see conversations that they were never a part of. And so, all right, that's it. I'm at work. It's a Monday. No idea when you're going to hear from me again. I would guess I may have some thoughts about Big Brother Australia later this week. I believe it's a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is how they're dropping the episodes. So I would anticipate that I'll have an episode to watch the next 3 days. And then maybe I'll talk about it at the end of those 3 days with my thoughts and opinions. Lots of stuff going on that show. It definitely is entertaining. And I'm enjoying it. I really am. I really am enjoying it. But again, as I said to Brent in a tweet, because he made a comment about it, he's not watching it or anything. And I said, it's a good show as long as you go into it knowing that it is production is extremely heavily involved in it. So just know that they have their hands in the way things go. In other words, they have their favorites and they help them along. It just sure seems that way. And I'm okay with that as long as I know that going into it. So, yeah. All right. That's it, guys. I got to go to work. Have a good rest of your day. Thanks for listening. Thank you for supporting. Oh, statistics. I got to do that. Okay, here's one more thing. Statistics-wise, I need to print out, because it's just fun as far as who listens to this. Because last week, or Memorial Day, I paid for the next level of my provider for my CarCast, for my podcast. And I got some statistics, and I'm going to pick through those again. I'll pick through those after this one, after a couple of days, and we'll see. I'll print it out, and maybe at the end of one of my CarCasts, I'll just go through them for those that are interested. I realize not everybody's interested in that kind of information, but I am, and I find it really interesting, and it's stuff that, super big podcasts aren't going to share. But I don't care. I'm not doing this to make a living at it. I'm just doing this for the fun of it. And because Spreaker made the ability to monetize it by putting ads at the end, I get a little bit of money out of this too from this part. You could also become a patron. And I think I gave a shout out. If I didn't, I need to give a shout out, and I'm going to mess this up. All right, I've already stuck my foot in it now. It's either Erica or Emily that became a patron. And I hate that I messed that up, but I'm like, wait, I have a niece named Erica, and Emily is who I played Sequester with last year in my first Sequester. And in one of those two names is the person that became a patron. Added one patron since my last CarCast, I think, or the one before. She signed up. Appreciated it. It was cool. At the end of the day, I got an email. Oh, you have a new patron. And I sent her a quick thank you. And again, I've messed up your name, but this is how this goes. I'm not going to pause it, look up your name, and pretend like I had it. I'm embarrassed, but that's who I am. So, anyways, she and her husband, or spouse or partner, listen, to the CarCast. So that's cool, and appreciate it, and appreciate your support. Anybody else who's interested, if you want to become a patron, you can go to patreon.com and look for BB Gossip letters, just like my Twitter account, and it shows it on there. It says the Big Brother Gossip Show CarCast. That's me, and you can sign up and be a patron if you want. It's just a monthly charge to be a patron. Are there bonuses? Yes, there are things there that aren't anywhere else, and at any level of patron, you get to see that stuff. There hasn't been anything recently, so there's nothing new, but I should add some new content for patrons. It's very possible I may like throw in something special about my vacation that goes on that I'll only share with specific, small group of people. I don't know. We'll see. All right, now I'm running on. I'm sitting in my car at work, and I got to get my butt into the job. So take care, everybody. Be well, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.